Last Saturday at Phoenix Raceway, NASCAR driver Daniel Hemric stunned the racing world when he not only won the first race of his NASCAR career, but also captured the 2021 NASCAR Xfinity Series championship in the process. We're so excited to welcome Daniel Hemric to What to Watch Live, but first, let's take a look at Daniel in action.
The 18, closing the gap. Out of 4, they're side by side. Hemric's gonna win it at the line. Daniel Hemric just silenced the doubters. He's made his own history. Daniel Hemric wins. He's the Xfinity Series champion.
You got it.
From the top of the car, Daniel Hemric's a champion.
Unreal, man. Unreal. 2021 NASCAR Xfinity Series champion Daniel Hemric is here with us. How you doing?
Man, I am good. I'm reliving that moment. I was watching it there with you guys. Not sure if my body is, these old bones are more sore from the backflip or the celebrating over the last couple of days, but I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Are you back on Earth yet? I feel like you've been riding this Cloud 9 for a little bit.
It's man, what a whirlwind, right? I mean, my wife and I flew out to Phoenix last Tuesday. We had a little rent house out there we stayed in and enjoyed the week. And then next thing you know, we went through the chaos of what was NASCAR championship weekend. I mean, you can only hope and dream to be that guy at the end of that week, but that's why we go out there early to enjoy the moment, no matter how it turns out. And man, just no, for sure, not back here on planet Earth yet. I feel like I'm still in a dream of some sort, but I can promise you, like I said, the way I feel that the days following this championship brings me back to Earth because it's a little rough, but something that we'll never forget. We're enjoying every second of it.
You stuck the backflip, so I think that's really all that matters, right?
That's exactly right.
So let me get this straight. Not only was Saturday your first title, but it was also your first Xfinity Series race win?
Yeah, very, very true. Yeah. So it was man, it's been such a wild ride for myself. I was fortunate to run the NASCAR Xfinity Series full time in 2017 and 18, and actually ended up getting an incredible opportunity to race at the top of our sport at the Cup level, and kind of felt, if anybody heard any of the interviews, pretty much my life was unraveling, if you will, after 2019. I lost my Cup deal and ended up part of the rebuild process. So it's been incredible to get back here and have another full time with Joe Gibbs Racing, and then go make the most of it and fight and claw to try to win your first race. And can you imagine, right, winning your first race at the on and at the biggest stage of the year? Yeah, I literally don't think you could have scripted any better. And yeah, that's why I don't seem real. It's just incredible how it all came together.
So let's speed it up here. We got 2 minutes on the clock. I got 20 questions. So you ready to rock? All right, let's do it. So, how many hours have you slept in the last 72 hours?
8.
If you could star in one show right now, what would it be?
Ooh. What's the show? I'm blanking out. Yellowstone.
All right. Favorite sport not named NASCAR?
Ooh, golf.
Everyday car that you drive?
Toyota Sequoia.
Should one race every season be all right turns instead of left?
Absolutely not.
Night race or day race?
Yeesh. I like day to night.
All right. What's the most important food on the Thanksgiving table?
Ooh. Macaroni and cheese. I'm a sucker for it.
Ever race at the famed course Bowman Gray in Winston-Salem?
I have done a backflip there a time or two.
Favorite adult beverage?
Ooh, give me a good bourbon, any kind. New to it, and I love it.
You get to pick one donut: infield burnout or glazed.
Oh, infield. Come on.
All right. We know you're loving your AirPods, and my wife just recently lost hers. You can listen to one song while you're racing. What is it?
Ooh, Eye of the Tiger.
Okay. How many vacations will you take this off season?
It depends. I might be stuck here doing all this since this past weekend.
How will Daniel Hemric eventually celebrate this monumental win?
Oh, dude, we've been celebrating since since the checker flag flew. I don't know. Just somebody says they want to hang out and enjoy it, I'll be there.
All right. So we didn't beat the clock at all, Daniel. We lost that terribly. Let's be totally honest.
Did we?
But yeah, I don't think we made it. Hey, that's all right. Look, I'm not the fast one. You're the fast one. So that's really all that matters. It was me slowing us down.
I feel like you got through a bunch of questions, though. That was a bunch of questions. We got through most
18,
of 20.
David. 18.
Look, under pressure, though, it's really hard. It's really difficult.
Hey, see what I did there, Daniel? Just playing with my cards.
That boy.
Yeah. Daniel, I was curious. I saw you post on Twitter, at least on Twitter, with the cup, and wondered where is it now, and where will it end up in the future?
That's a great question, because in the midst of all the fogginess, I've had that question a lot, and my answer is I have no idea. It was if you saw that picture, you saw my little girl, my 1.5-year-old little girl, and my wife with me. We took that last picture. Like I said, my daughter's in her pajamas. We took that picture at 12:30 a.m. Saturday night, Phoenix time. I remind you, I live in North Carolina, so it's 3:30, and then the time changed. And when I walked away from it, I saw it. They were putting it in some big fancy case, and I haven't seen it since. So I think word on the street is I actually get it at the banquet here in about 30 days. So fingers crossed it makes it there, because I have not seen it since.
Nice. It's funny you mentioned your wife, Kenzie, who is also a racer, and you mentioned your beautiful daughter. And I know oftentimes when a family is growing, people purchase a minivan. And I love the idea of two racers owning a minivan, zipping around down there in North Carolina. Do you own a minivan? Did you ever consider buying one?
So my wife told me she was by no means to that point of her life yet. But I will tell you that my Sequoia is close to a minivan option called the Sienna, which is also known on the street as the Swagger Wagon. So I'm not sure how far out that is.
I think you just dive right in right now and get a minivan. I think you head out of here. Just go get minivan right now.
Love it. Daniel, I've got a question for you. So worst case scenario, had you not landed that backflip, what would your next move have been? Are you like just lay down on the ground and kind of like pretend to be dead kind of guy, or like would you crawl away, or like maybe do like a flip up?
I would have. Yeah, I think I would have just tucked and rolled it out and got up and enjoyed it and had fun with it, right? I mean, what else are you going to do? You're on national television in front of hundreds of thousands of people. You're not going to hide from it, so.
It would have been epic if you you just rolled out and were like parkour, just like been done with it. Like that's
it. And Daniel, so as the music guy, sorry, Scott.
No, go ahead, Guam. No, go ahead, Guam. You go.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, bro.
It's all good. It's Daniel, all good.
As the music guy, I need to know, what is your championship song? Like, what was the first song that you listened to? You went back into the locker room or the garage or wherever you go back when you're celebrating. What was your song?
Oh man, not one in particular. Big Tyler Childers fan as of late, and then my wife says, some of my rap music I listen to is not appropriate for our little girl no more, so that hasn't really been on. So I usually get into that more so during my workouts during the middle of the week. So I'm actually going to dive back in and be an adult starting tomorrow, getting back into the routine and back into the training. But that's when I'll probably kind of find my go-to jam again. So yeah, I've been all over the board.
Okay.
Daniel, if we were to climb into, any four of us were to climb into your race car, would we have any idea how to start it?
Oh, pretty. Yeah. You can handle it. Now, as far as getting the thing to move, that may be a different. Oh yeah, I got faith in you.
Getting it to move though, that's where the technicalities come in.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of you got to push this, brush your nose twice, blink 3 times, kind of thing.
I know, Daniel. I know you used to race go-karts when you were a kid, and wondered. Several of us are big gaming fans. Are you a Mario Kart fan?
So I am not. I will tell you, the last time I played Mario Kart was with my buddy Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney. And heck, this has been a year and a half or 2 years ago on vacation in Hawaii. And I walked down the stairs one morning. They all got these little console things. And I had no idea what was happening. And they're all like apparently racing each other. So I got on to one of them and I tried to get my way through it and embarrassed myself miserably and thought, I'll stick to the real thing.
That's the coolest way to play Mario Kart. With Bubba Wallace? Like, come on. It's just me and Scott playing, typically.
I mean,
Sorry,
that's
Scott.
almost
I mean,
as
I'll
cool,
take
right?
Bubba
I mean,
Wallace.
like, geez, David. So, Daniel, you obviously have a lot of experience, like, driving souped-up cars. But I'm curious, what's the crappiest car you've ever, like, owned or driven? Like, a proper
Oh, that's a great
jalopy.
question. Great question. So my very first car was a 95 Honda Civic. My mother bought it brand new in 95. So when she gave it to me when I turned 16, I thought I was cool, put some speakers and some wheels on it. And when I went truck racing for the first time in 2015, right, that's when you feel like you've gotten your break. And I drove it all the way until I finally purchased my very first new truck. But prior to that, the Honda Civic had no shifter ball. It was a 5-speed. So it was just a stick. It'd tear your hand up. I literally had to turn the key and hold it wherever I was going. So at the time, my race shop was an hour away. So I had to turn the key and just hold it. And I drove that up until, like I said, 2016. So, yeah.
That's pretty crappy. I just had a Saturn, which was essentially made of plastic. But I mean, not
Yes.
something I had to hold the key the entire time. Jeez, that's
Yeah, my first car was a '84 Ford Escort that I bought for $100 when I was 15. I left it sit out front of the house so long that it got infested with a hornet's nest that basically destroyed the car, and I never got to drive it.
That is
Oh my
terrible.
gosh.
It's pretty terrible.
Now I'm hoping the answer comes in your 95 Honda Civic, but what's the fastest speed you've ever hit off the track, Daniel?
Hang on, I need that question one more time.
So what's the fastest speed you've ever hit off the track? So your everyday car, maybe your minivan, maybe your Toyota Sequoia, maybe your 95 Civic, I don't know. What's the fastest speed you ever pulled up on a highway?
Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, everybody drives the speed limit, right? Isn't that what they do? I think that'd be a better question for my wife, because she's scared me to death on the real road.
Oh my gosh. All right, so 64 and a 65.
I think that's pleading the
Final
fifth, I
answer.
believe.
We're good.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I have a question about the race on Saturday, because it was very close, and I watched it a couple times, like even edge of my seat. Couldn't believe how close it was. You traded some paint with Austin Cindric at the end, and I thought his response to what happened was pretty classy. But wondered how pissed you would be if you were in his spot instead.
Yeah, very, very pissed for sure. I thought Austin Cindric, he didn't surprise me with how he handled it, to be honest with you. He's, he was the reigning Xfinity Series champion from 2020, has handled himself with class, especially ever since, receiving that title. So, yeah, I mean, my man is just a stand-up individual, and it was cool to see him. I say cool to see him, right? It's nobody wants to be in that situation. Nobody wants to be that guy, but for him to handle it like he did, I mean, that's takes big shoulders to take it like that. So I'm proud of him for that. Him and I talked after the race, and he was just as classy in person as he was on the TV broadcast. And that was it was hard to swallow, but I promise you, 10 times I'd ran second before being able to win this past weekend. 10 times throughout my time in the series. So I've had to do those interviews and in a bit of that fashion at times. So you like to think if you do the right thing and treat people the right way and handle things the right way, it'll all come back full circle, and his time will come back again. So it was cool to see him handle the way he did.
Anyone else have any questions here for Daniel? Kwam, you got anything else?
I mean, I know you haven't listened to too much hip hop recently, but Donda or CLB?
Ooh, man, Dondo's pretty. I'm down for it.
My man. Okay, I know I like you, Daniel.
That's right.
Well, I have one last one to close out. For those who have never tried NASCAR for whatever reason, why should someone give it a shot next season? And what would you say is the best way to dip your toe into the world of NASCAR if you've never done it?
Yeah, I mean, if we're speaking directly from the fans' perspective, man, it's such an evolving sport. You know, we're currently in the midst of a uprising, if you will, of young, incredibly talented racers, but as well as a mix of old school, old fashioned guys that have been around forever. And it's interesting to see that all come together, and how everybody holds each other accountable, even though we've kind of learned under different crafts and timing of the sport. And that's intriguing, I think, from the fans' perspective. And then you throw in our format of how you run through the season, how you accumulate points. I mean, there's so much to it. But the single best way, right, is for fans to just get to a racetrack. It's really a sport that you have to be able to see it, to touch it, feel it, smell it, kind of thing. Get inside the garage area, come meet the drivers, see pit stops live in person. I've never brought anyone to the racetrack that's completely separated away from it. Don't know anything about it, and bring them to the racetrack and them not just be absolutely hooked if they can get that firsthand experience. Man, it's heck, I've been racing since I was 5 years old. It was that experience that brought me into it. Obviously never thought it'd get me to this particular seat I'm in now. But for sure, just dive in. You will not be disappointed. You're going to love it. And I'd like to think you'll be a lifer as soon as it happens.
Awesome. Well, Daniel, congratulations on becoming the 2021 NASCAR Xfinity Series champion. We very much wish you so much success in the future. And for more NASCAR action and to actually watch highlights of Daniel's big win, just say NASCAR into your voice remote.